Hello YouTube, it is your boy GZTV back with another video. We got two quick videos to do today. We are first going to be talking about Ozark Season 3, Episode 9. We are getting really close to the end of the season. I will be finishing the season today and doing a review for you guys tomorrow. I think this is a really good season. Some people said they didn't like this season as much. I honestly really liked it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable so far. And this is probably the saddest episode in the history of Ozark, and it's also one of its best. Anchored by truly moving performances from Laura Linney and Tom Pelphrey, who are two pictured up there. Linney's Wendy Bird has often been a cold political animal, a shark unafraid of any other predators in the water, even a drug kingpin like Omar Navarro. What's finally broken her and even brought her back to her husband Marty is the sad saga of her brother Ben, who we've pretty much been following the entire season. He's been one of the most interesting characters in this entire show's runtime. And yeah. So Lenny definitely captures how Wendy's emotional connection to her brother influences the tough decisions she has to make this episode, while Pelphrey conveys the horror of being somewhat aware that you are constantly making bad decisions but still are unable to stop. It's just a really fucked up thing, and this has got to be one of the bigger fears in mankind, like knowing you're doing something wrong but somehow just not being able to do anything about it, whether it be mental disabilities, the whole nine. It's just how he is. It's just his mental condition. There's nothing you can do to stop Ben Bird, or whatever his last name is. I guess his name's Ben Bird. But yeah, I don't know. In the opening scene, a monologue that should earn him an Emmy nomination, he speaks of a general anxiety and fear, that feeling like that a kid is going to jump in the road as you're driving and change your life forever. That's what it feels like. So many uncontrollable situations this man has been put in. That's what it feels like, driving into someone that jumped on the road. Ben thinks he's the driver. He's actually the kid jumping into the road, it turns out, and that's what we kind of see this episode with. So Fire Pink feels like a setup for a war between Helen Pierce. Oh, his last name's Ben Davis, sorry. But it's not exactly that. Ben is lucky to have someone like Ruth in his life because she instantly knows the danger of the situation when she hears that her boyfriend told Aaron Pierce about her mother's role in an illegal empire. Yeah, we know exactly what's going to happen to this guy. We're very self-aware. We know Helen's intentions. You've kind of learned about her over the last couple years or so that they've been working with this operation, and since they've met her, obviously. But, yeah. I don't know. The way she goes and grabs a shotgun and a go bag is amazing. She gets Ben out instantly, and after a brief memory scene with Marty, the episode is basically about Wendy trying to figure out what to do with her brother, as he constantly sabotages everything he does. Damn near everything he touches turns to shit. He's literally the opposite of the Midas touch. It's such a curse, man. He can't control himself. He fucks up everything super unintentionally. He's not intending to fuck things over. But it's just how he is, and it's really interesting. It's obviously very sad, but yeah. This episode really let us have a character connection. This guy's only been on the show for about 7-8 episodes, and people already love this character. They love the performance by Tom here, and yeah. Everyone but Ben seems to comprehend the danger inherent in what he did with Aaron and Helen. Obviously, he didn't hear from Helen that, if you tell my daughter, there's going to be fucking problems. But yeah, as Helen says, there's no room for mental illness in a criminal empire. She may be emotional about what Aaron knows, but there's a key moment in the kitchen with Marty when she tells him that the major concern is who else Ben might someday tell. He can't control himself. He could go out and just inadvertently tell people a bunch of shit, and that's kind of what happens later on in the episode. It's going to lead to this man's demise. He's not dead yet, but in the finale, this man might die. Maybe the show's going to surprise us or something. I highly doubt it. I don't know. I think he's dead. A dead man walking. He's a loose end, and criminal operations can't have loose ends. At first it feels like the Birds may start an all-out war with Helen. They consider going to Navarro and convincing him that they're more valuable than Helen. And it's an argument that Wendy might be able to win. She's been on the phone. She's been on the phone a couple of times with Mr. Navarro here, and they've built kind of a connection. They're big fans of each other, and they respect each other, and yeah, she might be able to convince him of some things. The problem is that Ben needs to be shuttled to safety before that can happen, but his illness and emotion keep sabotaging his sister's attempts to keep him alive. She's just being his damn bodyguard at this point, like his fucking getaway driver. He needs to get away from this situation. Before then, Aaron goes to hear the truth from the Bird children. Would Helen allow that? She probably can't just lock Aaron in a room, but doesn't it seem like she might try? Or get her on a train immediately? I mean, the birds are extremely dangerous. I mean, they've killed people. Helen is sometimes fearless, but if Ben is the vulnerability on the bird side of the Empire, Aaron is the one on her side. Like, there's a lot of things stacking up against these people, and it's in the show. It's done such a good job at building things up for the finale. I cannot wait to watch this today. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. It's hard to believe Helen would just let her talk to Jonah and Charlotte, but she does, and she learns that what Uncle Ben said was true, and it kind of sucks that the bird children kind of reiterated that, because Marty and Wendy were going to try to paint it as, oh, having a mental episode, but it just doesn't work that way, and Helen obviously wasn't going to take that either anyway. She rushes into the bird home while Wendy is still there, trying to talk Helen into sparing her brother. When Aaron drops everything on the table, Wendy tries to lie, but Jonah stops. She's like, Mom, no, don't do this. We have to stand up for this. Like, we have to tell the truth. We have to be good people here, even though what they're doing is not good, obviously. The coldest and scariest moment comes when Helen looks at the bird kids and, as she says, unacceptable vulnerabilities. But it also adds depth to why Helen was so secretive with her daughter. It's not out of pride or concern over illegal behavior. It's because people who know what people like Helen do end up dead. You know? Helen is upset because her daughter is now a vulnerability and she could possibly go tell other people, and that's going to lead to her demise. And then the truly tragic final arc of Ben Davis really kicks off. I mean, after Wyatt Langmore, of all people, talks him out of running, he actually goes to the Missouri Belle, which is probably the dumbest fucking thing. Again, it's like this bipolar impulse that this guy has. It kind of sucks, and it really makes you mad as an audience, but I guess that's what the show gets for being so effective in making this character out what he's supposed to be. They're so effective at it. This is a very bipolar person, and they've obviously done their studies on bipolar people, because, wow, this is perfectly how they act, you know? With people outside watching and an FBI agent inside, he begins a pattern of destructive behavior. Marty shuttles him into a car quickly and gets him to Wendy, but she doesn't know what to do but drive. She doesn't know what to do. She has to drive endlessly. She has to get him away. This is a runaway, pretty much, because because the hitman, Frank Jackson, I think is his name, is tracking him this whole fucking time. What now? Does Robert Forster show up and give Ben a new life as a Cinnabon? I guess. I don't know. Sorry. I kind of lost track here. Sorry. Before that option can be explored, Wendy falls asleep in the parking lot of a Walmart stand-in called Warner Mart. How subtle is that? And Ben actually calls in a tip. The cops show up to see Ben and Wendy reporting on a call that a drug lord is targeting someone in a car in a big box store parking lot. Wendy talks her way out of the situation. The siblings hit the road again to who knows where. They have no aims here. It's not Ben's last mistake. Shortly thereafter, he calls Helen, trying to apologize, trying to fix something that can't be fixed. You can't fix this. You are going to be on the run for the rest of your life. Wendy catches them, and her polite regard starts to crumble. As Ben slaps himself and sobs, Wendy struggles. He's a mess, but he volunteers to go to Knoxville and lay low. Even Wendy can't quite believe this. It's like the alcoholic saying he's clean as he goes into the liquor store. So, as Marty's plan to keep the known evil of Maya Miller in the Belle seems to work, Ben spirals further. At a gas station, he buys a burner phone, and Wendy knows it's over. She has to turn him in or kill him herself. Over pancakes, they talk about the past and future, and then Wendy walks away from her brother, leaving the restaurant. She goes to the car and drives away, tearfully calling Marty as the cleaner known as Nelson takes her parking spot. He marches towards a confused Ben as Ben cries in her car on the side of the road. Through sobs, she asks her husband, "What are we doing? Why did we drag our brother into this? Why didn't we push him away sooner?" There are so many questions that the birds kind of have to answer to themselves. I mean, it sucks, man. You got your brother killed, pretty much. I mean, is it his fault? A little bit, sure, but he has a mental disorder. What did you expect when you got him involved in all this shit? Like, he's not going to hold himself in. I don't know. It's a really fucked up situation. It's going to be interesting to see how the season finale goes. And yeah, I'm out, guys. We actually we watched a Black Mirror episode yesterday. I'm not sure what to do for Saturday's video, by the way. We're usually doing 2 videos a day. I have Ozark lined up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm either going to do three things. I'm going to either do a Mutt video, I'm going to do a Football Fusion video because it came to PS5, and I'm